this puzzle about prophylaxis mostly, so you need to see opponent defensive ideas. When you see opponent defensive ideas, you need to carefully find the way to outcome it, and the first way, the first in the position, like if from the point of evaluation we have just exchange down, but the horse probably more powerful than the rook in this position, and there is no clear defender to the king, and there is already horse, queen, and I mean horse, bishop, and queen, and pawn. So it's big question why is it not winning first. When you see positions like this one, there is just only king, yes, and there is no horse defending the king, no bishop. Rook is bad defender unless it can join from the 7th rank. Yeah, it's very, very important to ask question why is it not winning and find defensive resource. So the main weaknesses are g7 h7, probably g7 is the biggest weakness because we have opposite color bishops, and obviously dark squares are main targets. Yeah, here there are. And if we see candidates moves b7 94 and maybe something I'll say is active, we can check something like f6, but it looks a little bit weird. 94 is natural, b7 is natural, b7, rook a8, we quickly can see there is pin, it's a little bit unpleasant, so we check 94, and I mean f6, knight f6, bf6, all this hell is coming, and why is it not winning? And we need to ask question what are the candidates moves from opponent side. It's also check active defensive ideas like rook a8, queen d5, d7, c7 maybe, c5, etc. or c5, there is horse. So, but basically we can quickly understand, so main defensive way to defend g7 square is this one. Opt to play f6 and defend by 7th rank. So 94, two main candidates move this and this, and because if he plays rook a8, there is knight f6, rook a8, and queen d5, just knight f6, gf, no, queen d5, what happened after queen d5, I already forgot. Knight f6 is possible, bf6 is possible, and his idea queen f5, queen g6. Guys, quickly, what is the solution? I could quickly eliminate queen d5 when I solve the puzzle and move to this idea. Queen d7 is stronger because the idea is queen g4 after f6, like this. It's just idea to trade pieces. And remember when you play defensive side, very important principle to understand when you play defense. It seems like you cannot create threats. Your opponent is only attacking you, but it's not true, because when you trade pieces, this is a threat. Because when you play defensively and you an example up of material or even just have force position, if you trade pieces, this is very bad for your opponent, and so any pieces trade is actually threat. Like if you can try to change bishops for the knight, this is threat. Exchange queens, of course, threat. Exchange rooks, of course, threat. So there are many threats when you play defensively, and if you can, as well as if you're attacking, if you can create multiple threats in a row, you win the game. The same with defensive ideas. So this, I'm not sure would knight f6 work or not in the same way. And but if queen d5 doesn't stop f6 because there is no queen g4 anymore. And f6 is forkable square. But by the way, very important principle to understand. f6 is critical square here, and what we usually miss, we don't see multiple pieces on one square, and this is something, it's very trainable, it's very powerful positional concept and tactical concept. See the multiple pieces on one square. So as Karpov said, one of my pieces on f6, yes, in this case. It can be pawn, it can be horse, it can be bishop, it can be even queen in some cases, or even rook in some cases. So one of my pieces on f6, I see that here. It's all of them can be on f6 square. Yeah, and so on. It's possible f6 with idea of g bf6 and maybe queen h6, or with idea of g knight f6, or with and if queen f5, fg obviously has to, cannot move the rook because of knight f6, so king g7, and then queen h, there is multiple ways to play, and this one is hanging, and there is probably just what this one is in checkmate. Okay, so main move queen d7. Anyway, we'll check later queen d5, but I think f6 is winning. Probably the idea is so the idea is to play queen g4, queen f5, queen g6 here, and also f6 is a threat. Yeah, we can say threat. Queen f5 also. And want to play here if knight f6, gf, bf6, queen f5, and queen g6, and if f6, queen g4. So it seems black should be doing okay. But there is quite nasty idea from the white side, knight f6, gf, and if you question yourself what are my candidates moves, bf6 you cannot take, bh6 doesn't make sense. So there is also nasty idea, boom, queen h6. Because now queen f5, his idea is queen f5, queen g6, or queen g4, queen g6 doesn't work because of queen f8. I will show you on the board. This one. And bf6 is still threat. If fg, just f6, and queen doesn't have time to come back. But there is one more trick, rook e8, counter-attacking the weakness. Rook e8. And seems black is okay, because now black use the rook to counter-attack e1 and also bring queen to f8 to defend the square, to defend g7. By the way, you also can scan all the ways to g7 as we usually do, and it's also sometimes in this way works, but not here. But unfortunately for black, white has a killing move, rook e4. If you ask yourself what are my candidate moves, you can quite quickly spot it, and the idea is rook e4. There is probably also rook f1 and rook g1, move it away with the idea this, but if takes this, it works, but there is probably queen f5 counter-attacking idea again, and if rook g1, queen f5, queen g6, yeah. Rook f1 is not defending f5, and rook g1 is queen f5, queen g6, but here is simply rook f4. The very important principle take is mistake. If you take you improve queen. Queen can attack e1, queen can defend at f8. But after rook e4, it's very unfortunate position, because now queen f5 again doesn't work. bf6 is the threat, and after rook e4, d takes c4, take is mistake. e4 pawn defending e file now, and there is no way queen can jump to the back rank, because there is no everywhere are obstacles on the way. You can take queen f5, but you lose the queen, so probably you have to sacrifice your queen, but it won't help. A very beautiful puzzle. Okay, and the concept is, I want to clarify it again because you need to see, train yourself to see patterns. The main concept here is prophylaxis. You need to see how opponent will defend. And in this case it's queen d7 with idea queen g4 and with idea f6. And here also you have to see rook e8. If you see all the defensive ideas, you can find the ways to deal with them.